In the quiet town of Ravensbrook, tucked between rolling hills and misty lakes, there lived a man who became a legend long before anyone dared to call him one. His name was Elias Marrow, a man with sharp blue eyes, jet black hair, and a presence that felt both calming and unsettling at the same time. What made Elias remarkable wasn't just his intelligence or charm, it was the fact that no one had ever seen him grow old. The story began decades earlier, when he first appeared in Ravensbrook. The earliest photographs showed him as a tall, lean man in his early 30s. That was in 1928. Families grew old, children became grandparents, shops opened and closed, but Elias looked the same in every photograph, year after year. His neighbors whispered, he must have good genes, or, perhaps he doesn't age because he never married, never had stress. But whispers turned into rumors, and rumors turned into fear. People started to notice the impossible. In 1950, when many of his friends had gray hair and wrinkled skin, Elias looked exactly as he had in 1928. By 1970, the townsfolk had started avoiding him, calling him the immortal man, the cursed one, or even the devil's son. Parents told their children not to ask Elias questions, not to look too long into his eyes, because there was something unearthly about him. But Elias was no monster. He lived quietly, never boasting, never interfering, always kind to those who spoke with him. He owned an old house on the edge of town, surrounded by tall pines and heavy shadows. It was said that he never let anyone inside, and that the windows always seemed too dark, even on sunny days. He worked odd jobs, sometimes repairing watches, sometimes restoring old books, sometimes painting portraits. Whatever he touched, he did with care and precision. And though people gossiped, he never retaliated. He only smiled, as if holding a secret too heavy for anyone else to carry. Then came Claire Harwood, a journalist in her late 20s, who moved to Ravensbrook in search of quiet after a messy breakup and a career setback. She wasn't from town, so she didn't grow up fearing Elias. Instead, she was fascinated by him. On her first week, she saw him at the library. He was standing by the shelves, reading a thick volume of philosophy. His posture, his face, his voice when he greeted the librarian, it all struck her as strangely timeless. Later, when she asked about him, the librarian laughed nervously and whispered, "That's Elias Marrow. He's been here longer than anyone can remember. Be careful, dear, curiosity about him has ruined more than one life." But Claire was not the type to step back from a mystery. She had written exposés, uncovered frauds, and chased stories across continents. Elias was, to her, the ultimate story. The man who never aged. At first, she approached him gently. She would nod to him at the cafe, ask him polite questions about books, or compliment his paintings when she found them displayed at the local gallery. Elias was polite but distant, his eyes holding a depth she couldn't quite describe. One evening, when the town square was nearly empty, she asked him directly, "Do you ever feel strange that people say you haven't aged in decades?" Elias looked at her for a long time before replying softly, "People fear what they don't understand. That is all." But Claire was determined. She began digging through archives, finding old photographs, census records, and newspaper articles. And the truth was undeniable. Elias Marrow had looked exactly the same in 1928, 1945, 1963, and even in the present day. He was unchanged while everyone else had aged. The obsession grew. Claire started visiting him more often, pressing him with questions. Elias would never lose his patience, but he would never give her answers either. Some truths, he told her once, are more dangerous than lies. Be careful what you seek. But curiosity can be stronger than caution. One stormy night, Claire walked past Elias's house and saw a faint light flickering inside. For reasons she couldn't explain, she stopped and stared. The house seemed alive, breathing in the shadows. She noticed something odd. Elias was sitting by a table, writing in a leather-bound journal, and beside him stood a tall mirror draped in a dark cloth. Every so often, he would glance at the mirror, his face tightening with something between fear and longing. The next morning, Claire knocked on his door. Elias opened it, his face as calm as always. "You shouldn't have been watching," he said simply, though she hadn't admitted to anything. His eyes seemed to pierce straight into her thoughts. Claire took a deep breath. "Please, Elias, I'm not here to hurt you. But I need to know. Why haven't you aged? What's the truth?" For the first time, Elias's expression shifted. He seemed tired. His shoulders drooped as if he carried centuries of weight. After a long silence, he said, "Come back tomorrow at midnight. If you truly want the truth, I will show you. But after that, there is no turning back. Claire barely slept that night. Her mind raced with possibilities. Was he a vampire, a ghost, a man cursed by some ancient spell? When the clock struck midnight, she found herself walking through the misty forest path to Elias's house. The door was already open, as though he had been expecting her. Inside, the air was heavy with the smell of burning candles and old paper. Books lined every wall, and on the central table sat the journal she had seen. The mirror was still there, covered in the dark cloth. Elias motioned for her to sit. His voice was softer than ever when he said, "What I am about to tell you, no one else has heard in over 100 years. You must decide whether to keep this secret, or to destroy me with it." And then he began. Elias revealed that he had once been an ordinary man, born in 1895, the son of a clockmaker. He had lived a normal childhood, fallen in love once, and even gone to war. But during the war, he stumbled upon something he could not explain, a ruined chapel hidden in the woods of France. Inside, he found a mirror unlike any other. It shimmered as if alive, its surface rippling like water. Drawn to it, he touched the glass, and in that instant, he felt something drain out of him and something else replace it. His fear, his pain, his years, all stolen away. When he returned home, he realized he no longer aged. At first, it seemed like a blessing. He watched his friends grow older while he remained young and strong. But soon, the blessing revealed itself as a curse. Everyone he loved eventually died, while he endured. His secret isolated him, made him a stranger in every community. The mirror, Elias explained, was not just a relic. It was alive, feeding on time itself. Every year he remained unchanged, the mirror grew darker, heavier, hungrier. It whispered to him in dreams, demanding he return. If he stayed away too long, the curse would shift, and time would reclaim him all at once, aging him not slowly, but in a single, unbearable instant. Claire listened in silence, her heart racing. Elias's eyes glistened with sorrow. "I have lived like this for more than a century," he said. "And every day, I wish I had never touched that mirror." Claire felt a chill. "Why are you telling me this now?" Elias gave a faint smile. "Because the mirror has chosen you." Her blood ran cold. "What do you mean?" He stood, pulling the cloth away from the mirror. The glass shimmered, alive, reflecting not just the room but something deeper, something endless. Claire saw herself, but younger, sharper, almost glowing. And in the reflection, Elias looked ancient, his skin wrinkled, his eyes sunken, his body frail. "The mirror does not let go," Elias whispered. "It trades. I have held its burden for long enough. Now it seeks another. You came because you were curious, because you wanted the truth. And now the truth wants you." Claire staggered back, shaking her head. "No, I don't want this." But the mirror pulsed, pulling her closer. Her reflection smiled at her, a smile she did not make. Elias's voice trembled. "If you touch it, you will never age. But you will watch everyone you love wither away. You will carry the hunger of time itself. I cannot stop it, Claire. The choice is yours." Tears welled in her eyes. She thought of her failed relationship, her broken career, her longing for a story that mattered. Was this her punishment, or her destiny? The mirror hummed louder, filling the room with a vibration that shook her bones. Her hand lifted against her will, reaching toward the glass. Elias cried out, "No! Don't!" But it was too late. Her fingers brushed the surface. The glass rippled like water, and a shock ran through her body. She gasped as her skin tingled, glowing for a moment. When she looked again, Elias had collapsed, his body shriveled into that of a withered old man. His eyes, once sharp and eternal, were now dull and fading. He looked at her one last time and whispered, "Forgive me." Then he crumbled to dust before her eyes. The mirror stilled. Claire's reflection stared back at her, young, beautiful, untouched by time. She stumbled out of the house as dawn broke, her heart pounding. She wanted to scream, to run, to undo what had just happened. But deep inside, she felt the truth settle in her bones: she would never grow old. And as she walked back into the town of Ravensbrook, people looked at her with the same unease they once reserved for Elias Marrow. The whispers began again, not about him this time, but about her. Because in Ravensbrook, there is always a man, or a woman, who never grows old. And now, it was Claire.